welcome to a very special edition of Jasiri. Now, today marks a major milestone, not just for us, but for you, our incredible audience. Because starting today, news is officially on GoTV. Now, this means that more people across Nigeria will have access to the fearless, thought-provoking conversations we bring to this platform every single day. And speaking of fearlessness, let's talk about what this show truly represents. The word Jasiri means brave in Swahili, and bravery is at the heart of everything we do here. It takes courage to ask the hard questions, to challenge the narratives that have held women back, and to push for change in a world that often resists it. Welcome. My name is Tolulope Adeleru Balogun.
Also here on Jasiri, it's 4 women, 4 perspectives, but one mission: to create a space where we speak truth, elevate voices, and tackle the biggest issues affecting our society. From politics and business to gender equality and social justice, we are here to break the silence, confront the bias, and ensure that women are not just part of the conversation, but leading it. Because, let's be honest, women have always been at the forefront for change. I'm Blessings Bosugu.
We are the policymakers, we're the entrepreneurs, we're the activists and the storytellers shaping the future. But too often our voices are overlooked, our contributions downplayed, and our challenges ignored. That changes here. That changes now. So whether you're joining us for the first time or you've been with us since the beginning, we're so excited to have you on this journey. This is Jasiri. This is bold. And this is brave. And this is just the beginning. Let's get started. I am Catherine Obiang.
Anyway, it's midweek on Jasiri, and because we know you are always fighting against the clock, we're always fighting against the clock here, and because there's always something to talk about, we've got a midweek episode of hot topics just for you. There's never a dull moment when it comes to the headlines, and today we're diving into the biggest stories making waves. From politics to pop culture, economy to social issues, we're unpacking everything. No fluff, just real talk. What's trending? What's controversial? And what does it mean for you? Anyway, let's get into it. My name is Omotunde Adebowale David. You're welcome to Jasiri.
Oh, wow. What? Because we don't introduce ourselves anymore.
Yes, we're on GoTV now, so we have new audience.
But we need to know, we need to let the new people just joining us know who we are and what we do. Now, let's get into it because time is not with us. We recently spoke to Dorcas Muga Odembe. She is the gender editor of the Nation Media Group in Kenya, analyzing a new trend where it seems that wives are leaving their marriages after 30, 40 years. We discussed her articles, Grey and Gone, and Lonely Elderly Men. And one key takeaway is that children often bond more with their mothers because they spend more time with them. But men can be intentional as fathers as well. So we decided to test this theory with some of the fathers right here at News Central. Let's see what happened.
My daughter, I took her to school today. I know her best friend, I know her teachers' names and everything. Hit me. My lovely daughter's name is Rain Appeal. She was born on the 27th of October 2005. She is 9 years old. 27th or is it 25th? Wait, I'm getting my math wrong, am I? Because I'm under pressure, that's why. Okay, so hang on a second. We're in 2025. My daughter was born almost 10 years ago. 2015.
Children's name: Tovia, Stefan, Tiona. 3. That's 2 girls and 1 boy. The first one was born on the 28th of December 2019. The second one, 21st of March 2021, on a Sunday actually. Then the third one was born on the 28th, same birthday with the first one, on the 28th of December.
The first is Naim Adioye Agbalaya. He'll be 18 this year. He was born in 2017. 2007. Can you imagine? The second, Nasira Fadikemi Agbalaya. She was born in 2009. She'll be 16 this year. And my dearest baby, Nimatswad Adiola Agbalaya. She was born in 2014. She'll be 11 this year, March 3rd.
Okay, let's start with Tiwatokpe Adebayo. Tiwatokpe was born on Monday, the 18th of June 2018, while Irewamiri, the second girl, was born on Wednesday, the 11th of November 2020. Tiwa will be 7 in June. Ire is 4.
Their names, Anisa, Abdullah, and Hamida. Their gender, Anisa is female, Abdullah is male, Hamida is female. Their year of birth, Anisa was born on the 15th of May, 2017. Abdullah was born on the 14th of May, 2020. And Hamida was born on the 27th of August, 2023.
So the first one is Joe. That's a boy. Let me see. It should be 10 now. So that's we are in 2025, Abi. So it was born. That's 2015, March 26. So the other one is Trinity. I was born 5 years ago. We are in 2025. So if I do my calculation back, that's 2020 thereabouts. And that's December 17 because I'm August 17. It's easier to know that one. So the last one is Ifeoluwa or Jabulani, as I usually call him. So that's November 24, 2 years ago, 2023.
I'll start with the boy because it's just like me. He likes swallow a lot, the boy. But the girl, pasta, rice, all those mede food.
Anisa's favorite food is amala. She loves amala a lot. Not like she gets to eat amala all the time, but I see that the way she lights up when she sees amala. But every other thing is fine. I think she likes rice too.
The young man has a thing with bread. That shouldn't be a surprise to anyone who knows him actually. He likes bread. He doesn't really have, he's not really so choosy about food, really. At times he even goes without having breakfast, which is best known to.
She would run to me. And I say that confidently, not for any other reason, but because daughters and fathers have that relationship. Whether you like it or not, a daughter would look to her father first. Her mother she would look to when it comes to things that have to do with perhaps maybe anatomy or I don't know. And I think as she grows older, when the time comes for her to talk to somebody about relationships, I think she will come to me first, not her mother.
Give us an answer. Who's your favorite?
Who's your favorite, Rain?
What if I just say anything?
Anything?
Say anything.
All right, let's hear it.
Mommy? Really? I was hoping to hear.
That's the thing. Her shoes, her leg, it's quite unique. She wears my wife's shoes and even her younger sister's shoes. I really don't know the size, but I know that somehow, whatever whose shoes is available, she tries to go with it.
That should be 20, it's between 26 and 29. I think 20. Let me just say 27. Let me say 27 because it's between 26 and 29. So I'll say 27. I hope I'm correct, Sha. 27.
Even me, I don't know my shoe size. But I think the first one is, the last time I attempted to buy a shoe for the first one, I think it's 20, I'm not sure now, but that 25 or whatever, 20 something for the first one. The second one, I don't know. And when I see shoe, we enter and I buy, like myself.
Tiwa is 31 now for kids. That's for kids though. Tiwa is 31 now, while Ire is 30. Apparently, I try my best. I attended the last open day.
I have never. I've never. I've never gone for one before. And it's because I'm always working now. I'm always busy. I'm always at the office. I'm always working. So I don't have time to, I mean, the mom does that. Like, you know, division of labor. There's an understanding and agreement. So.
Just give them cartoon. Give them tab. Give them load the internet. Give them tab with cartoon. And give YouTube Kids precisely, not just cartoon. They get out of random cartoons. Just give them variety option. Once you turn on YouTube Kids, go on son. They can be there till for like a week, sir. They're just there.
When she returns home, she likes to play with her friends or watch cartoon. Most likely play with her friends because Abdullah is the one that is most likely to watch cartoons.
Her best friend name is Amna.
Her best friend's name is Fatima.
So she has a best friend named Davina.
Oh.
Yeah,
There's
Davina is her
Dina.
best friend. But then in school, Fatima is her best friend.
It's always changing. Today, what's your best friend's name? She'll mention everybody in her class. Tomorrow, it will be something else. Tovia, who are your best friends? They plenty. Tamilore and Ariana and Taiwo and Kenny. So they plenty. So I'm right. I'll give the phone to your mom.
Can you call your wife?
I don't have credits. You say.
Leko, I see what you did.
I'm the favorite. No, it's mommy. Who's your child's best friend? Wrong.
Fatima.
And as soon as you said it, he laughed because he's like,
Because they didn't have credit.
oh my God. But I like it, and you know, we have these conversations, and so many African men, not necessarily our colleagues here, will think, I'm bringing the money, I'm providing a roof over these kids' heads, over the family's head, and it's enough. But what we're seeing is that it is actually not enough. Your children, there's a place for male role models, male influence, not just daddy paying bills. There's a place for daddy-son connection, daddy-daughter connection, as much as we can laugh about this, and because we have good colleagues, you know. I want to see what happens if we took this to the streets.
Oh la la. I think
And we have to really confirm with their wives.
Yeah, that's what we will call the wives, no problem.
I think men would struggle. Because you see some of our colleagues were looking up to the heavens for assistance.
Conjuring the birthday.
Looking, on the 15th, oh no, I'm getting it wrong. I think it's 2015, not, oh my God.
And we were so nice, so the shoe size was like a, what do you call it, a curved ball. And Nasia said she wears her mother's, so that means you don't know your daughter's size, you don't know your mother's and wife's size.
Lake's own is worse, from 26 to 27. Wow.
All right, we're going to take a quick time out. When we come back, there's much more. Thank you so much for joining us on the very first day that News Central is launching on GoTV. We promise you some great times, but we definitely promise you a great hour right here on Jasiri. Do stick around. We'll be right back after this. Thank you so much for staying with us. This is Jasiri on News Central, and as you know, we are a news station, which means as news breaks, we bring it straight to you. So we're heading right now to breaking news that's coming to us from the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja. Our reporter correspondent Sagir Ibrahim is standing by. It seems that there is a protest related to the controversy surrounding the sexual harassment allegations that Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan has made against the Senate President Godswill Akpabio. Let's see what we can find out the details from Sagir. So if, as we get in touch with Sagir, let's see if we can get some of the visuals coming in from Abuja at this point. There seem to be reports of placards or, yes, we go, and signs that are showing some demands from those who are protesting. Now, let's not forget that there was a recent protest, I believe, in Akwa Ibom. Some women who are saying that Senator Natasha Akpoti must apologize to the Senate President. And of course, we know that there are a number of issues surrounding this particular conversation. Now, let's not also forget that we'll be going to a live coming to you from Eco Atlantic here in Lagos, where First Bank Nigeria is going to be doing the groundbreaking for their new headquarters. Now, this is going to be a very big conversation also happening. This is going to be a very big conversation happening, or event happening today. A number of dignitaries, as you can see there, the former Senate President Bukola Saraki is on your screen. We've also heard that Femi Otedola has made his way into the venue. Former Governor of Delta State, James Ibori, as well as a representative of the Oba of Lagos, as well as former Senator Ben Murray Bruce. So we'll bring you the details of that in just a bit. Now let's go back to Abuja, where we have Sagir Ibrahim standing by to give us the details of that protest. Sagir, can you hear me? Hello, Sagir. All right, Sagir, thank you so much for joining us. I'm sure they'll be working on the audio as I ask this question. But quickly give us the details. I think one of the details that's primary for me is where is this protest happening and what particularly seems to be the grouse of the protesters? We'll hope to sort the audio issues. There's apologies for that, but it was actually meant to be one of the big conversations, ladies, that we took today, given that former Senator Florence Ita-Giwa was at an interview yesterday and made some rather interesting comments. I'll use the word interesting because it has created a bit of a divide right now in terms of where people stand on this. And we've seen, of course, the Senate President's wife, that's Aide Akpabio, speak and defend her husband. We've seen former and current senators also speaking in relations to this. And then yesterday, Florence Ita-Giwa, former senator of the Republic of Nigeria, of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, dropped bombs. Bombs. I don't know. I think we should pick up from where the script is, because it's actually a very big story as of right now. So just very quickly, let's give you the details of that. Now, on Tuesday, in an interview where she was speaking, she said, and I quote, "By the time you contest elections and get to the Senate, you have passed that stage of your life of being sexually harassed. You go there to serve, and you are all equal in that place. And again, it shows weakness. You don't allow it. It cannot happen in the Senate. I'm not saying that the lady is lying, but when you get to the Senate, you're there as a person. You're not there as a woman. At that stage in politics, if you come out and say someone is sexually harassing you, it is a weakness," end quote. Now, when asked if female lawmakers should keep quiet when their colleague sexually harasses them, Ita-Giwa insisted that it is a sign of weakness for female senators to accuse their colleagues of making passes at them. Quote, "On this matter, I am not with Senator Akpoti. It is the worst sign of weakness on a woman's part to come out and accuse a man of making passes at you at that level."
I don't even understand. No, honestly, because we know she's a matriarch, and these are the people that actually open the door for other women to go in. So our challenge is no longer looking for how to get in. It's how to stay in and have our voices heard. Are we saying, I just want to be clear, that a woman on that level cannot be sexually harassed?
That is what Senator Ita-Giwa is
What does that mean? So that means I can be a senator, and I will pass through the corridors of power, and one of my colleagues will practically grab my breast.
And it's normal.
And it is normal. I'm supposed to just see myself as a man at that level and say this didn't happen.
So it's not
because
just
I'm a senator.
It's also absolutely demeaning, because there's some things that people will say. You say you understand the intent behind it, but this doesn't even make any sense. There's no intent that is justifiable enough for her to say these things. You say that at a point in your life you have passed the stage of being sexually harassed.
Are you kidding?
And this is a reflection of societal expectations. They say that if you're in politics, for example, these are so what she's saying now is this is just a trivial excuse to throw people off what she did, which makes absolutely no sense.
I agree, it makes absolutely no sense, but I also said on this table that the woman is seeking relevance.
Let's be specific. Which one is seeking relevance?
Former Senator Ita-Giwa is seeking relevance. Everybody knows her antecedents. Do we really need to go into all of that?
And I can't even
allegedly that we will speak of.
No,
there are so many alleged.
I really feel that it is a ploy to get back into the heart of the matter, into the politics of the day. She's not relevant. We haven't heard her name in a long time, if not for this. So, like social media, they're giving us something to talk about and get all of our knickers.
And well, to be honest, I won't blame her. She can't relate because she doesn't look like
No. So hold on, let me add this. But remember I said it yesterday when we had Abosede George Ogan here. There's a layer to this conversation surrounding Senator Akpoti that also has to do with her being, let's be honest, a beautiful woman. But before we hold on, ladies, there's more. So, in the Federal High Court of Nigeria, in the Abuja Judicial Division, holding in Abuja, there is a suit instituted, Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan as the plaintiff and applicant, and versus the Clerk of the National Assembly of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, the Senate of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, the President of the Senate of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and the Chairman, Senate Committee on Ethics, Privileges, and Code of Conduct, Senator Neda Imasuen. Now, the order is she's asking for leave to be granted for her to serve the defendants and respondents with an originating summons and all other accompanying processes in the suit being substituted, of course. Now, at the end of the day, she's granting an interim injunction restraining the second defendant and defendants Committee on Ethics, Privileges, and Conduct, headed by the fourth defendant, from proceeding on the purported investigation against her for alleged misconduct, sequel to the events that occurred at the plenary on the 20th of February 2025, and of course also pending the hearing determination of the motion on notice for interlocutory injunction. So, just to add details to that. Now, when I was looking at the things that Senator Ita-Giwa said, one of the things she was referencing was that when you get to be a woman who has gone through the trenches, basically, you fought this war and you fought these battles to become a representative, to become a senator at the highest level. It almost feels like she expects you to be above either, is it making the having passes made at you or responding to them? Because let's be honest, we're all women on this table, whether it's women at the lowest levels of society or women at the highest levels of society. Sexual harassment does not discriminate against women based on socioeconomic or power dynamics.
People will not allow themselves to become a victim, because from what I'm hearing from what Ita-Giwa is saying is you're letting yourself be a victim. You don't allow yourself to be a victim. It happens to you.
There is an allegation.
Shove it off.
There is an allegation used to it in such a way that it shouldn't be a big deal now, because that thing that women, whatever happens to you, chin up and move. Chin up and just shut it down in your head. Don't deal with it.
So this is you're saying takes me back to what Senator Biodun Olujimi was saying yesterday. Former Senator Biodun Olujimi, that he makes jokes. And
then every other woman is used to it.
Do you know how many places I've been that I've heard jokes that just to keep the calm and to keep the cool. But if you're a woman and you look at my demeanor, Lola was telling me something yesterday. When she told me, I said, yes. You know why? When the situation happened, I looked at her face and I knew something was going on.
Exactly.
If you're a woman in those situations, you read the room. You read the body language. You don't want to be the ones who disturb the room.
Exactly. I know how I've been in the media industry for a long time. And I know the kind of men who have made passes at me. Do you know sometimes I'm so traumatized in their presence that I lose sense of what to do at that time, because these are the people that many of you respect, and they do it in the midst of people. Imagine if everybody just shakes everybody's hand and somebody hugs me across the shoulder and whispers something, you know, very corny in my ears. You are all there, but you didn't have my own experience. And people will be wondering that, oh, why did she react in such a way? Imagine if I slapped that non-person.
Be emotionally unstable.
So let's even be honest, right?
Should have, you have been a woman in media for a long time.
Let's even be honest.
You should just handle it.
There are women that actually will have your experience, right? But they've been there. They did not embrace it, but they didn't reject it. And so you cannot be the first to come and reject it, because everybody is like, what? We've just been snugging it off. Why deal out of it? Exactly.
So this issue also is, for me, is the language and the message we're sending to young women. Abosede was very right in what she said yesterday on this. One, we're seeing patriarchy princesses and at this point grandmothers. And she said, time is up. When you were in your power and your positions and you let it go, that was you. Girls and women of now, they are not prepared to let it go, because it speaks to the character of the people who are in charge of things. She said when you go to the Senate, you stop being a woman, you become just a colleague. But that's part of the issue. Since Senator Biodun Olujimi's gender and equal opportunity bills were kicked out of the Senate, has there been any other bill that specifically speaks to the issues that women in Nigeria face? No, there hasn't been. We haven't made progress. How many of them are in the Senate? How many of them are in the House of Reps?
Exactly.
In the past several election cycles, the number of women in the National Assembly has actually reduced.
And we have talked about it here. And if women want to take their place in governance and want to be recognized as people who are bringing something to the table, you have to put a stop to some nonsenses like these. People, you're in an environment where people are making lewd jokes, people are making funny, snide remarks, comments, and you have to just be calm and laugh nervously to keep the peace. For how long? I keep saying we're in a different dispensation. Gen Zs are not having it now.
Women now have trauma. People now have trauma. A lot of people are dealing with so much that sometimes you just see a woman, just get off over a little prick. It's like a balloon that has been inflated.
That has been swelling.
The bigger the balloon, even the tiniest prick can actually let out an explosion. And when we now behave maybe in a place that you expect decorum and the woman flips her, do you know how many times people have made comment like, beautiful girl, are you sure you know what you're doing?
Exactly.
And she just says, thank you, sir. I know what I'm doing. And she passes again, hey, this thing you carry is a lot. Those are the types of jokes. Those are the jokes that make you demean her intellectually. That after some time, you start to second guess yourself and feel like, am I adequate? Am I good enough? Is it just about my beauty or just about how I look? Does it even bring anything to this table?
So I want to just give more context. The case that I just read out now was actually filed this morning in the Federal High Court in Abuja. And it's of interest to many of us that she's actually suing the Senate, the clerk of the Senate President, and the chairman of the Ethics Committee to stop the investigation into misconduct by her. They're not investigating the sexual harassment. Remember that. They said that there's no formal petition. And we had one of the, I think it's one of the essays to Senate President Akpabio on the breakfast show this morning. You can check that out on our YouTube. And he was speaking about that there's no petition. There's no investigation. There's no petition for them to base their investigation on. And it seems that there's more interest in investigating her alleged misconduct than investigating her allegations of sexual harassment. And it's of interest to me that it's a message. And I'll say it again, we said it yesterday. We have not heard from Senate President Akpabio.
No, we
have not heard from his table. We have not seen an official statement. These are serious allegations. In a country where sex for grades, sex for marks, was such a watershed moment in our education system. Even last week, there was a lecturer that was convicted for rape and has been sentenced because he raped a student. Yes. This is an issue in our country.
No, Tolu, let's go back to the
Let's go for a commercial break, guys. This is Jasiri, and you're watching us on News Central on Go TV.
Thank you so much for staying with us on Jasiri, and welcome to our Go TV audience. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Woo! I'm supposed to hear woo. Don't worry. If you're just getting to know the ladies, you will soon get to know the ladies very well. But we want to head back to Abuja now to correspondent Sagir Ibrahim, who is covering that protest that's happening in Abuja, related to the story that we've been carrying, of course, the controversy surrounding the allegations made by Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan against the Senate President Godswill Akpabio. So let's go to Sagir now. Sagir. Fantastic. It looks like things are much better now. So again, where is this protest happening, and what seems to be the particular grounds of those who are protesting?
Good morning, Tolu. Good morning to the Jasiri team. You can hear from the background. It's complaints, and more complaints. Some of the chants that has been made here is Akpabio must go, Akpabio must go. Enough is enough. I'm currently here with one of the supporters of this movement, Oluchi, who also doubles as a communication expert. She will be giving more details as to the reason for this protest. Oluchi, thank you very much for joining us. Thank you. Can you please give us a brief of the reason why we are having this demonstration now?
Well, Nigerian people have come out to state clearly that what happened on the floor of the Senate is unacceptable. It is a deliberate attempt to shut the Nigerian woman out of the political space. I mean, it's shameful enough that we have only 4 women in the Senate. And the one who we see as the most vocal, the one with records of work and achievements for her people, is the same person who is faced with this situation. It's terrible that if a senator of the Federal Republic of Nigeria would come out to say she's been sexually harassed, and people are trying to downplay it. People are trying to water down the conversation. This is not about party. This is not about, it's not a gender war. This is a human rights issue. It's a national issue. It's a national embarrassment for Nigeria. And I want Nigerians to know that we are demanding for an independent body to investigate these allegations as raised by Senator Natasha, because what I saw with Senator Natasha, like I said earlier, is not a reaction. It is an outburst. And for somebody to have an outburst, you must have suppressed that thing for a long time for it to burst out. So Natasha busted out. She has had enough. The humiliation. Who has not followed Natasha's story? From when she started, when she was in the SDP, the humiliation, the calling, the name calling, then she wasn't married. And then she got married and dared to contest. We saw what happened in Kogi State. We saw how the roads leading to her place was peeled off because they didn't want people to access. This woman is a fighter. This woman fought. She went there, won, fought even in the court, and gained back her mandate. And she's in the Senate making impact. We will not allow anybody to come and humiliate her. We will not allow anybody to shut this woman up. And I stand here today to say shame on all the women who have come out to downplay this woman's voice. Shame on all the women who have come to try to shut this woman up. We thought you people were mothers. How can you be doing this? It means that there is a culture of silence that is in the political space. There's a culture of fear. There's a culture of intimidation. How can a mother come out and tell me that the Senate is not meant for children? It is meant for the elderly. What kind of message are you passing to us? This is unacceptable. This is not unacceptable. And Natasha is not a child. Let me tell them, Natasha is not a child. Natasha is a Nigerian woman who knows her onions, who is working and has the right to speak. If she has raised any issues, I expect that what they are going to do is swing into action and investigate. Investigate. Just as the former Senate President, Dr. Bukola Saraki, has said, this is not even about one person. This is not even about protecting one person. This is about protecting the National Assembly. This is about protecting the Senate. This is about protecting the seat of the Senate President. So in doing this, we call for an independent investigation. And while it is going on, sir, please let the Senate President step aside so that they can allow a proper investigation to be conducted. Please, that is what I came out to say this morning.
Thank you very much. Then we have Ms. Oluchi speaking passionately about the situation, but we also have Mr. Aku here, who has also been part of the organizers who brought all of this together. Mr. Aku, can you give us more of details about the charters of demand of this group currently here today?
Yes, the purpose of gathering here is to express our feeling as a result of the shock of the attitude of the Senate President on the floor, on the red chambers. You see, this is a time for Nigerian Senate to make law to reduce poverty. This is a time for Nigerian Senate to make law to safeguard our lives. But the Senate President is busy swapping position. But what happened now is as a result of what has been cooked behind. You see, an attempt was made behind, and the man came on the floor of the Senate to use that to embarrass the girl, to disgrace the girl, a girl that could, his daughter, he has a daughter, he has a wife, and he has a mother. So these are the three reasons why everybody should respect a woman in anything you are doing. I am a product of a woman. I am not from Okene, I am not an Ibura person, but I'm a Nigerian in support of Natasha. Enough of this. Is it the best thing for Akpabio is to step aside, not to do even to resign. Clear conscience, fear no accusation. If his conscience is clear, let him step aside. Let let Senator Jibril Barao take over. Then pending the outcome of the investigation. So you are trying to suppress the original story, and the original story is out. They sponsored noise from everywhere, but we are making the noise in Abuja where the Senate chamber is. We don't want intimidation. Women should be encouraged. Women should be supported. You have Margaret Thatcher. You have all these women all over the world doing well. Why should they suppress our own women here? Is the Senate for a man? They should be gender sensitive. Without a woman, you can't live any life. So we are tired of the intimidation from this man. Another woman from NNDC has accused the same man before. So it is not good for the integrity of the Nigerian Senate. We don't want this kind of man as a Senate President. He should be investigated. That is the purpose we are gathering here, to show our grievances to the whole world. We are not happy. The people of are not happy. The Igala are not happy. The Okun from Kogi are not happy. The Middle Belt are not happy. Nigerians are not happy. All of us are not happy. Enough of this intimidation. Nigeria is for all of us. We are preaching one Nigeria every day, and you are suppressing Nigeria. It's not all about a party. It's not all about party. I am a member of APC. I'm not in PDP, that National Bloc. But I'm here because of justice, as a member of the international human rights. A right has been trampled upon, and we say, no, that's what we stand for. That's what we're against. That's what we're fighting for all over the world. So that's why I'm here.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for having me.
Well, there you have it to the team. It's been a passionate appeal for an investigation to be carried out on the allegation that's been raised from the Kogi Central Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan. For those that are here and for those that are behind me, they will continue to clamor and demand for justice to be met, and also call that the Senate President steps aside while an independent investigation is carried out. Back to you in the studio.
Thank you so much, Sagir Ibrahim, for that. We'll continue to, of course, follow the developments in this case as it continues. Thank you. All right, so of course this is a big story for us, but before we continue our conversations, just a reminder that we will be live for you at the First Bank event that is holding at Eco Atlantic here in Lagos. As I told you earlier, it is one that is already packed with a number of dignitaries. We have former Senator Ben Murray Bruce President, Femi Otedola, the former governor of Delta State, James Ibori, a representative of the Oba of Lagos. We've seen former Senate President Bukola Saraki, who was mentioned by one of the protesters there. Also, Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu is present as well. Dele Momodu is there. We're hearing that the Ogun State governor, as well as the Ondo State governor, is there, as well as Africa's richest man, Aliko Dangote. All right, so that's giving you an update. As soon as the ceremonies start there, we'll head to the Eco Atlantic event, the First Bank event holding at Eco Atlantic. Ladies, there's a lot. Time is not with us, and one of the things I like what the gentleman at the end said about Akpabio has a daughter, he has a mother, he has a wife. But at the end of the day, I think we need to stop those kind of conversations, because it shouldn't have to be because you have a daughter, because you have a wife, because you have a sister, that you can advocate or stand in for women. You should be willing to stand in for anybody. And it's really important for us to have these conversations, whether they like it or not. This has now become a national conversation. Yeah. And I didn't really catch her name, the lady that was, Oluchi was speaking. And I've said it here before, Senate President Akpabio is the third person in this country. It's not just about him as an individual, it's about the institution he represents. Whether it's the comments he's made about her, the comments he's made about the poor in Nigeria, they are then representative of the office in which he occupies. And we should demand better representation in those offices.
I am expecting that if you're the
hold your thoughts, because I was holding. I wanted to say more, but they told me to. We have a break. When we come back, we will not hold any thoughts. Stay with us. I cut Lolo off. I wanted you to finish your segment before we get to reactions.
I just want us to know that sometimes let Nigerians not think that, oh, this cannot happen in the corridors of power. The number one person in the United States of America has been accused of sexual harassment in the past. And Monica Lewinsky, she brought a lot of things out.
For Bill Clinton. And then you also now have a president in place.
So we also have a president of a Senate. So that should not give him some kind of insulation. If there's an accusation, whether it's true or not,
look into it.
It should be dignified with an investigation. At least hear her out and let her make her case. Whether she wins or she doesn't win, that should be done on the merit. Not just she should be thrown on the floor of the Senate and allow everybody just trample on her and treat her anyhow and just talk to her anyhow. This woman has been fighting battle from day one. And I think that any woman that is vocal and beautiful at the same time, and you are in leadership.
All right, we have to break in now as the Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria has arrived at Eco Atlantic for the groundbreaking for First Bank's new iconic building. It's said to be about 40 stories when completed. It will be the highest building in Nigeria and West Africa at completion. We take you now to First Bank and, of course, their groundbreaking event.